Are data scientists at the risk of losing their jobs? How good is ChatGPT at developing code specifically to explore datasets and to develop machine learning pipelines? I will put it to the test by trying ChatGPT's recently released Code Interpreter plugin, and I will also provide advice on what skills you should develop in order to stay relevant in the rapidly evolving field of data science. I've been working as a data scientist at Brown University since 2015. I became a part-time instructor in 2019 and an assistant professor in 2021. I worked on over 20 different machine learning projects, and I teach data science to more than 50 graduate students each year, all of whom are asking the same question: is data science still a safe career? Stick around to find out. OpenAI released the Code Interpreter plugin on July 6, 2023 as an experimental feature. Amongst other things, you can now upload a CSV file to ChatGPT, ask questions about your dataset, and ChatGPT will write and run Python code for you to answer your questions. Let's give it a try. Currently, the Code Interpreter is only available to subscribers, and you can only access it through the web interface. I will show you how you can navigate to it, and then we will explore a dataset together. If you open chat.openai.com and you have a subscription, this is what you should see. You can choose between GPT 3.5 and GPT-4. For the purposes of this video, please choose GPT-4 and then click also on the Code Interpreter. Once you do that, you can easily drag and drop CSV files down here, wait for it to upload, and then press enter. This is the Kaggle house price dataset, which contains information on roughly 1,400-1,500 houses, and each house is described by 81 different features. I really like this dataset for machine learning purposes because it has features in all three main feature types. It contains categorical features, ordinal features, and continuous features as well, and it also contains missing values. Please bear in mind that you should not upload CSV files containing sensitive information. While you can use ChatGPT for personal purposes and maybe to solve homework assignments, it is crucial to refrain from uploading datasets that contain personally identifiable information. Most likely, companies will not allow you to use this feature in fear of potential data breaches and security concerns. I will follow a fairly standard line of questioning to accomplish three tasks. We will explore the dataset, we will pre-process it, and we will train a supervised machine learning model. All these steps are part of a pipeline my students learn to develop. Stay tuned until the end to hear my advice on what skills you should develop to stay competitive in data science. The first thing we will do is drop the ID column. This is a unique ID for each house, so this is not something any machine learning model can learn from. Let's check the code. It indeed dropped the ID column and it printed out the head, the first 5 rows of the dataset. Next step, let's create a target variable and a feature matrix. In this dataset, the goal is to predict the sale price of the houses, so that will be in our target variable, and all the other features will be in a feature matrix. So we give the prompt, it is working. Let's check it. Y is the sale price and X is all columns except the sale price. So this looks good as well. Next, let's visualize the sale price column, our target variable. It imported Matplotlib and Seaborn as well. And it created a histogram with 30 bins, and it also overlaid kernel density estimation, so a smooth curve. It also added X and Y labels and the title for the figure as well, which is great. Here is the histogram. You see that most prices are around maybe 150K, but the distribution has a long tail. We have a small number of houses that are pretty expensive, around $500,000 or more. Can you tell which features in X are continuous, ordinal, and categorical? Determining if a feature is continuous, ordinal, or categorical can sometimes be challenging and might require domain expertise, especially for ordinal variables. That is Very, very correct. Let's write a function to categorize these variables based on these definitions. So what ChatGPT did is it checked the data types of each column. If the data type is an object, meaning the column contains strings, it assumes that's a categorical feature. If the data type is an integer, that's an ordinal feature. And if the data type is a float, that is a continuous feature. This is a good first try. It is not correct. You can see, for example, the lot shape feature, which contains strings. And ChatGPT assumes, therefore, it is a categorical feature. The lot shape, for example, is an ordinal feature. If you check what kind of unique values it might have, a lot can be regular, slightly irregular, very irregular. So you can rank those different categories. Pool quality is also, if you check, that's an ordinal feature. External quality is also ordinal. So there are quite many features here which have been miscategorized. Same is true for the ordinal features. If you check, for example, the general living area, this is in square feet. While it is represented as an integer number, it should be treated as a continuous variable. Same is true for a lot area. This is, again, it's probably in square feet. So it should be categorized as a continuous feature, not as an ordinal feature. This is where domain expertise comes very handy. These are the kind of decisions you should not leave to ChatGPT. Okay, next we will split the dataset into training and testing. Let's check what ChatGPT wrote. It is using scikit-learn, train, test, split. This is the standard method it should use. And you see then here it created xtrain, xtest, ytrain, ytest. The test size is 20%, 0.2, which is correct. And it uses random state 42. If you don't know why 42 is a magic number, I recommend you read Douglas Adams's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's a great book. Next, we will check whether there are missing values in the dataset. ChatGPT correctly says there are missing values in xtrain, and it prints out which features contain missing values and how many missing values we have in each of those features. And it is giving us some suggestions how we could handle these missing values. Now we will give a very complex prompt, and I'm really curious to see if ChatGPT can handle it. I would like to ask ChatGPT to remove the missing values using a simple imputer from the categorical features and then apply one-hot encoder on the categorical features. I would also like ChatGPT to use the simple imputer first on the missing values of the ordinal features and then apply the ordinal encoder on those features. And I would like ChatGPT to leave the continuous features as is. So we don't want to impute the missing values in the continuous features just yet. So we will break this down into 3 different prompts. I asked ChatGPT to take the categorical features of xtrain only, use the simple imputer to get rid of the NANs, and then apply the one-hot encoder. So now we will pre-process the ordinal features. Take the ordinal features of xtrain, use the simple imputer to replace NANs with the string missing, and then apply the ordinal encoder. Oh, this is not good. For the ordinal imputer, it replaced the missing values, the NANs, with the most frequent category that occurs in the ordinal feature, which is not correct. It should have been replaced with the string missing. I will ask ChatGPT to combine the preprocessed categorical features, the preprocessed ordinal features, and the continuous features. Let's see how this goes. It forgot to import the NumPy package. So it's trying again. It wants to transform the continuous features, which I didn't ask it to do. And it wants to use the median imputation, which I would not recommend. There are much better strategies to handle missing values in continuous features. There is another error. Okay, break it down step by step what is going to happen. So this is not exactly what we wanted. I wanted to keep the missing values intact in the continuous features because I want to use XGBoost to develop a regression model. And with XGBoost, you don't have to impute the continuous features, you can leave the missing values in. Anyway, so this is not perfect, but we have a preprocessed training set. Let's see if we can transform the test set now. There was an error in the code. Found unknown categories. Yep. Yes. That is what happens if you misclassify one of the features. This feature should be a continuous feature, not an ordinal feature. That's why there are unknown categories when it's trying to transform the X-test. Okay, let's forget about X-test for now. We would need to just copy-paste this code into a Jupyter Notebook or some other IDE, fix the issues there, and then we would be able to transform X-test. So I imported XGBoost. It correctly figured out that it needs to use XGBoost regressor because the sale price is a continuous feature. So we want to develop a regression model. It uses again random state 42, which I find quite nice. And then it correctly fitted the model on XTrain prep and YTrain. I will ask it to use k-fold cross-validation with 3 folds and also use the R-square score as its evaluation metric. Okay, so we got back some R-square scores, which are around 0.84, 0.86, and 0.89. So now we would calculate a test score using the preprocessed test set to figure out how well the model performs on previously unseen data points, but we could not preprocess the test set, so we have to skip this step. I would say that if a student handed in this code as a solution for a homework assignment in my course, they would receive very few points. It missed key concepts. It was not able to correctly determine the feature types of the various columns. It could not preprocess the training set. It could not preprocess the test set, and it could not calculate the test score. So we don't know how well this model would perform on previously unseen data points. Stay around until the very end to figure out how you can reproduce this chat. Here are my 3 main insights from this exercise. Data scientists will still need to know how to code, but maybe the emphasis will shift from code writing to code testing and review. The code interpreter is quite impressive because it allows you to explore a dataset and develop machine learning pipelines just by typing questions. It's excellent at giving you a starter code, but you still have to debug it, improve it, and customize it for your own needs. If you use the code interpreter on an unfamiliar dataset, bugs and mistakes could go unnoticed, and uncovering them can be pretty time-consuming due to the difficulty of finding bugs in an unfamiliar codebase. Critical thinking is crucial when using ChatGPT. It is important to not blindly trust ChatGPT's answers. You should ask follow-up questions, write unit tests, and make sure you understand each line ChatGPT generates for you. I was able to identify bugs in the workflow because I already know the dataset, I know all the tools that we are using, and I know what the correct answers are. If I had used the code interpreter on a new dataset, it would have taken me a lot of time to verify the results. Know your machine learning basics. ChatGPT does not replace rigorous professional training. If you are unfamiliar with concepts on data splitting, model selection, hyperparameter tuning, or how to choose an appropriate evaluation metric, you will not be able to provide the right prompts. As the saying goes, garbage in, garbage out. If you ask incorrect questions, your answers cannot be right. In conclusion, ChatGPT and the code interpreter are impressive tools, and it is worthwhile to invest time familiarizing yourself with the technology and understanding its limitations. However, personally, I believe that generative AI is meant to assist data scientists rather than replace them. Be sure to watch my previous video on EDA and let me know in the comments section which generative AI tool you would like me to try next. Check out the video description as well, where I provide a link to the chat I had with ChatGPT.